How's it going, everyone? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars back with another virtual description. Today we are going to talk about my restored 1971 Dodge Dart. This is a vehicle that I bought from a private individual out of Connecticut. He owned the vehicle for a number of years and did a decent amount of stuff to it, upgrading and just really well maintaining it. Before that was when most all of the work was done, and I have a ton of receipts, ton of original paperwork. I have the original fender tag, the broadcast sheet, as well as the original purchase agreement. And then again, I have a huge binder of pretty much everything done to this car when it was restored. So it's a well-kept and a well-documented car, and it is just one of my favorite A-bodies that I've ever owned. The motor that's in it is a non-original 340, but it runs extremely well. This was originally a slant six car. Again, now it has the 340 V8, very, very strong 340. If I'm not mistaken, the date code on the 340 is a 1969 motor. I believe I have that right here. Yeah, we have it as a date code as a 1969 340. The motor's great. It does have an Edelbrock carburetor on top. It is backed by the TorqueFlite 727 3-speed automatic transmission. And then your other options, you do have power steering. And then this one does have a full aftermarket four-wheel disc brake conversion, and it's a Wheelwood setup. So you have a Wheelwood master cylinder. It is a manual disc setup, but when you're going four-wheel disc like that, that's usually how it's going to be done. Then you have four-wheel Wheelwoods all the way around. Classic auto AC. AC blows nice and cold. It is an underdash vent. You do have a front sway bar, and then on your exhaust system, you have a stock style set of manifolds. Full dual exhaust. It does have an H-pipe in there, aftermarket mufflers and full tailpipes. Sounds really good. Sounds exactly how it's supposed to going down the road. You are backed in the rear end with the 8 3/4 rear end. Take a look at my test drive video. You'll see me driving the car going down the road. We'll drive it for about 10-15 minutes. I'll dive more into the mechanical stuff, but it's a really, really well set up car, and it drives great. On my doesn't work section, a couple small things. The reverse lights are not coming on, and then the heater's not getting hot, and it's not blowing any air out of the defrost or under the dash. When they did that aftermarket AC, most likely something simple's going wrong there, because you do have the aftermarket vents for the AC. And again, the AC does blow nice and cold. Just something with the heaters not functioning properly because it's not getting hot. On my pre-inspection, I check all of the for leaks, wear items. Pretty much everything on this car it looks to be redone at some point. Again, we have receipts for everything. All of the suspension, all of your steering, again, all your brakes, everything basically looks new. No real issues with any suspension, no current leaks, but no way for me to predict when it is going to start leaking, especially being a Mopar. You just got to prepare yourself that it's going to start dripping at some point. Right now, it does look good and dry, but you start driving this thing consistently, you're probably going to develop a little drip here and there. It's just going to happen. But again, a lot of receipts for pretty much everything. The steering is nice and tight. The brakes will throw you through the windshield, being that it's a four-wheel disc setup. So no issues with any of really the wear items at all. On the exterior, it was a color change. This was originally GY9, which is a dark gold metallic. Now it is a citron yellow, or citron yellow, however you want to say it. Paint quality is very nice, shows well, bodywork looks good. If I have to nitpick anything, the passenger side door hinge, the little door pins, you can lift up and down on the door just a little bit. So maybe a little bit of an alignment there with new door pins. But again, paint quality front to back shows great. Some smaller little nicks and flaws from it being driven a little bit since it was done, but still shows very, very well. Paint quality does represent nice. And with that passenger door, it still opens and closes fantastic. You can just, if you lift up on the door from the bottom of it, you'll get a little bit of movement there. On the inside of the trunk, on the trunk floor where it's painted body color like it's supposed to be, you have a little bit of cracking in the paint on the inside of the trunk, so you're not going to see that. It's going to be underneath the mat. You do have the 18-inch chrome Riddler wheels. Usually I'm a fan of more of a stock style setup, but I think kind of the custom vibe of this car, the wheels and tires look great. They're a 235/40 tire all the way around with the 2019 date code. There's plenty of tread, no dry rot, no cracking. Take a look at my additional informations tab posted on my website, pcclassiccars.com. It's going to outline photos of all the additional paperwork that I talked about earlier in this video, as well as photos of the motor numbers, the VIN tag, as well as just little imperfections around the car, just all small stuff. On the interior, again, like the exterior, was a color change. Originally, it was a GY4, which is a gold interior. Now it is a black interior. It's all been redone. The gauges are super easy to read. You have the really nice, tough steering wheel. You do have a 2-gauge pot underneath the dash for oil and water temperature. The oil temperature gauge under the dash does kind of bounce around a little bit, but it does function. And then that water temperature gauge takes a minute to get up. Once it gets to about 180 degrees, the temperature gauge will come up on that aftermarket one under the dash. But the factory temp gauge also works. You do have really nice carpet, mats, headliner visors, all that stuff looks good. Really nothing out of place on the interior, and it all shows very, very nice. The engine bay is really the same way. It presents very well. I will say that the 340, the blue that's on it, I believe it is a little bit of an incorrect blue color, but again, being a custom car doesn't really matter to me. The engine bay is extremely nice, well sorted, done with the purpose. You have the correct exhaust manifolds, which I think look great. You do have the manual proportioning valve as well. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, it does have an Edelbrock carburetor, and then the AC system is a classic auto AC system, and then it is a Willwood master cylinder. Engine bay represents very nice. When you pop the hood, it shows very, very well in there. The underneath falls into the same category. Extremely solid, shows great, no issues to note at all. Floors are awesome, trunk pan's awesome. The passenger side quarter drop down has a small repair spot. You'll see a photo of that in the additional informations tab, but there is no current rust issues. Really nothing to note on the bottom side of this car. It shows very, very well. When they restored this car, kind of did the resto mod thing on it, they started with a very good quality A-body. Overall, this is a great, great Mopar. I'm personally not an A-body guy, but this one really falls into a category of a car that I would personally own because of all the time and money that was put into it. There is more receipts than I've probably ever had on a car. It's a really well-organized binder. Have that broadcast sheet, have the fender tag. It's a great car going down the road. It's very strong mechanically. You already have the AC. Just a really, really good quality car front to back. And as always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my virtual descriptions. Make sure you check out my test drive video along with my additional information tab, which are both posted on my website, pcclassiccars.com. I'll catch you guys on the next virtual description, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.